Sorry about that. I got to figure out how to stop the phone calls from coming in while I do this. But on any account, this is one of the techniques that I use. Because instead of going straight in, I can cover this whole area because it's the needle tip that does all the work. And this doesn't really hurt. It just looks weird. I'll pull it back so you don't freak out. I did feel a little twitch. So when I'm alone, I just put that in and just let it sit there. And eventually it'll just slide its way back out. I'll push it back in a few times until I get frustrated with it and just take it out. But the goal is to cover all of this. So this is the problem, all of this. There is no single most valuable acupuncture point written down. The patient tells you where their precise locations are. You might think you have hit one, and then the results don't prove that. Only until the patient states that they are back to normal, battle ready, then that's when you stop. So this has to be treated. That's when you pause. They'll be back. So chronic pain should be treated exactly like cancer because the tissue gets all bound up, desiccate, decay, and the telomeres change. So once the telomeres change, that means that tissue is not normal tissue, your normal tissue, which means the telomeres have been corrupted. And anytime you corrupt the chromosomes, that's a pseudocancer. That cell is a cancer cell. It's not yours. It's distorted and it's wreaking havoc on your soul. So that is a pseudocancer. So chronic pain is a pseudocancer. And the tissue will devolve until it drives you insane or you commit suicide. So trigeminal neuralgia, they call it the suicide disease. And I swear, if I didn't have these needles, if I didn't have these needles, I would have blown my head off because it drives you insane. It's a constant torment. And if I didn't know that it was muscle, I would have easily let a surgeon slice my head open for nothing. So the other part of this is I like to do the masseter. And I kind of feel around to feel the kind of hard or stiff or ropey area. Why? Because it just makes sense. So this entire masseter and temporalis muscle will be treated, and I'll also get down in here too. But I want to get these. And this side, so it doesn't get jealous. Ouch, ooh, ooh. So if you think you can outguess Mother Nature, you can't. You have to dance with Mother Nature, and the patient explains to you in their own words by verbal responses, body language, you are on the right path. And you cannot force the path. You have to follow it, and the patients will give it to you. And then once the patients understand, they'll come in and say, Doc Rodriguez, I want you to work on this, and this. I say, okay. And it's done. It may take me 15 minutes, it may take me a half hour. Any less is unkind, not nice. Actually, it would be criminal. So up until about 2009, when I didn't know what I was doing fully, I neglected hundreds of individuals. I didn't know what I was doing. Now I do. And it's simple. You just do this. But this is only part of it. There are 30 things you do every day to help maximize healing capacity. And you can find them on my little handouts. So this is it. Let me see what's happening here. So usually I'll just, my right hand is better. Look at that one. I used to believe that you couldn't move, but you can move. It just depends on your comfort level, that's all. Now, the key is movement. So if you got the needles in, and the idea is to add force and energy in there, and that movement is therapeutic. You can't harm with needles. The only way you can harm with these is if you do not distribute it in an artistic and masterful manner, and you leave the patients lacking. That's the only way. Now, if you explain to them that that's what you're doing, that's honorable. But within your mind, you think that's all I can do, then that's dishonorable. That thin line between love and hate, the thin line between help and harm is thin. But once you know what the line is, you never go near it without explanation. And that's it. Thank you.